All right, we're live. Hey, Michael.
Oh, hello. I'm live as well. We're both live.
Hey, you're live. I'm live.
I'm live. Yeah, I'm back.
You're
Apparently,
back, is right.
I'm back
Yeah.
again. Another week. Here we are.
Well, I'm super pumped that you're back because I had a fun time last week. It's always fun just chatting with somebody about this stuff, and I think we'll have fun tonight chatting about kitchen trends because one, it's a pretty hot topic. Um, everybody has an opinion on a trend,
Right.
including you and I.
Mhm.
And just trends in general. I think sometimes they're fun to talk about because we kind of know when you're designing a kitchen or when you're designing your own kitchen or whatever, you're going to put whatever you want in there, like whatever you like,
Yeah, of course.
regardless. But I do think there's some value in looking at some of these things to see like what, because you can catch an idea that you may not have thought of before or a different way of doing things. So I think there's value, even though I get my back up a little bit about trends. I think there's a tremendous value. So thanks everyone for joining us tonight. If you're watching this live, make sure you jump in the chat, say hi to Michael and myself, hit the thumbs up button, ask a question, do all the chatty things that we do all the time. And if you're watching this in replay, just jump down the comments and throw some questions there if you have them. We're going to talk about trends tonight. What Michael and I think are going to be the kitchen trends for 2024. And so we're going to have fun talking about that. We've got lots of pictures to show and some ideas to throw at you tonight. And of course, we want your input on what you think of these things as well, and whether or not there's something we missed that should be on the list as we get going. I think we have nine or 10 on the list that we're going to look at. So everyone's jumping on. Yeah, we're starting early. We're starting early because I don't want to start at midnight in the UK. So
I do appreciate it. Yeah.
I want to give the old kitchen insider here a chance to
at
least get a good night's sleep. So
I don't know how awake I would be if we started at your regular time.
No, but you said you would wait up. You'd still do it that late, so.
Still do it, but I don't know how energetic I would be on camera. Yeah.
Yeah, trends, whatever.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about this topic sometimes anyway. I did spend the day, like I said, when we were chatting there off camera, that I was watching these trend videos from other creators, and I thought it was interesting. There's a lot of overlap in what they were talking about in terms of the trends. So we'll see how we do tonight. So anyway, for those of you who maybe don't know Michael from Kitchen Insiders, say hi for a second and I'll bring this screen up.
Me say hi.
Well, yeah.
Then say hi.
You, sorry. Yeah,
they can say hi to me. So yeah, hi, I'm Michael. I have a YouTube and a website under the name Kitchen Insider, hence Mark keeps saying Kitchen Insider. So I've been doing YouTube, although I haven't made any videos for a little bit. I've been doing YouTube and I've had the website for a few years, been designing kitchens for over 10 years. So lots and lots of kitchens. And yeah, so I write content about kitchens, trying to help people out, all kinds of questions, all kinds of topics on kitchens, kitchen renovations, appliances, you name it. I try and sort of cover as many things as possible, the kind of things that I get asked. It's mostly things I get asked. I think, oh, that would make a great post or topic or whatever, and then I'll go away and write up about it. And so yeah, I've made it to hopefully help people out. It's a resource for people. And yeah, we just we get together every now and then, talk kitchens, don't we, Mark?
We do. Kind of fun. I will say that I learn stuff when I watch your videos and read your blog. Usually every time I watch one of your videos, I learn something. So I'm not just blowing smoke either. So if you have never checked out Michael, which I don't, probably everybody here has, but if you haven't, go check him out. Check out his YouTube channel. I know you'll have a video coming up at some point.
Some point, yes.
I don't know when.
I have been scripting, and nothing's recorded yet, but it's a work in progress.
The content creation business is, we don't just sit around in our bathrobes all day.
No.
Well, I mean,
maybe, but it's still working.
Yeah. Technically it was working. All right, let's get this show on the road here. This is the first one. So what Michael did, he sent me a list. The first, I think, 5 are trends that Michael had sent me today to talk about. So these first 5 are his, and I have to say these first 5 are probably the most not unique's the right word, but just like you can tell you just didn't take these from some blog somewhere.
Yes, no,
Unless
I
you took them from
haven't
your own
done any
blog.
research.
Yeah. These are like
sat there and
these are
thought
your
about
ideas.
it. Yeah.
So the first one is the window backsplash. So when I
Mm.
seen that, I'm like, oh, that's interesting, because I love the idea of this. So the window backsplash is number one. Talk us through a little bit about this trend. Why we're seeing it more. What do you think about it? Tell us the deets.
Yeah, so this is something I'm seeing more kind of appear more actually from a lot of Australian designers and interior design studios and kitchen design companies and stuff like that I follow. Yeah, I mean maybe they've just got nicer views. I don't know in Australia. I think it's that shift we talked maybe last year or something about kind of that biophilic design movement, bringing the outdoors in, connecting with nature, lots of natural light. So I think it's kind of like just an extension of that. And also the idea of like, I mean, you and I probably talk about, making windows bigger, right? If you have the opportunity to get a bigger window in your kitchen, go for it, right? That's
For sure.
it's usually a go-to, get that natural light in. So it's probably like an extension of that. Boom, there you go. Yeah, Australia. This is where I'm seeing it. This is where I was kind of first made aware of this. And then I went down a whole rabbit hole of like, can you have a hob? Can you have a cooktop in front of that window? And so researched all of that. And yeah, you can. I mean, obviously a couple of caveats to think about, but yeah, I think it's a really nice idea. I really like it. I mean, obviously you've got to think about, does it work for you? Can you have it? And is it the right kind of setup with the glass and its location and stuff, the cleaning element of it. But you've got to clean a splashback, I guess, no matter what material it is. But I think it's nice. I think it's a kind of a sleek way. A lot of them are these almost like letterbox shaped style ones, kind of to fit with it. Oftentimes you'll see it like this with cabinets above, so you don't lose the storage. Sometimes not. It's just a big window, which also looks fantastic. Yeah, I think this is one to watch. I think this is going to be on people's list of things that they would quite like. If they're having whole renos done and can do this.
Yeah, this seems to be
your thought?
something that. Pardon me. So go ahead.
I was going to say, what's your thoughts on this one?
I love it. I love the look of it.
Yeah.
I think it's a great way to bring in some natural light into the space. I like that it is different. It's not something that you normally see. And what else are you going to do in that space? It's normally just a painted wall or some backsplash tile. So the opportunity to bring in that natural light, you can see here, there's a ton of natural light coming in on that surface. Specifically, it's great. My camera froze. It's great for that functionality aspect too. I mean, in the evening, no, but that's why you have under cabinet lighting and whatnot.
Right.
But this gives you. There's nothing like natural light when it comes to working in a kitchen or working on anything. So I think it's a really great trend, and it looks beautiful. I don't know if this would be in a renovation project. This might be something that is definitely higher up there on the budget and
Right.
those types of things. Can you structurally do this in your home or not?
Yeah.
And you also have to consider what this looks like on the outside, and not everyone's kitchen is going to be able to handle something like that on the out. Like their home might not be able to handle that look on the outside. So,
Yeah, that's true.
I would think this would be more of a modern, contemporary style home. Unlike if I live in what we call like a bungalow style home, a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, kitchen, living room kind of home. Having a window like this might not work in a house like that, but that's something to consider. But overall, I think it looks really, really cool.
Yeah, I like it. It's just something, it caught my eye a little while ago. It's something I've been sort of, when I see it, I kind of think, oh, there it is again.
Yeah.
But it's not something I'm seeing everywhere. Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Do you think this will be a trend in 2024? Is this something you're hoping will be a trend? What's your thought there? I mean, obviously we're talking about kitchen trends for 2024, but
I think, yeah, I mean, a trend, such a funny word, isn't it? I think we're going to be seeing more of this in 2024. Yeah, I think, if you have your, your Instagram feed of kitchens, more photos are going to pop up with some of this on, I reckon, in 2024 than they have done so far. All right, yeah, I reckon we're going to see more of it.
Just a question. Hi to both of you. My question, is it true that composite materials like quartz and porcelain are going to be restricted or come with a health caution due to long-term damage to lungs? Well, no, not necessarily. We did chat about this last week, but in Australia, there is something happening with that because of silica, with manufacturers and fabricators who are, sanding and CNCing and all the other stuff that goes along with fabricating these slabs. Plus just the sheer amount of dust. I don't know if you've ever seen videos of them fabricating slabs of quartz, but there's these bags of just silica, and it's the dust. I can't imagine how you'd ever control that. So that's leading to health issues with workers in those facilities and whatnot. So that's where the ban is coming from. Don't know if it applies to porcelain or not, because porcelain wouldn't have silica in it.
Yeah, I've not heard specifically porcelain.
Yeah.
Quartz is the one that keeps getting mentioned.
Quartz would be the big one, yeah. Yeah, something to keep an eye on, and maybe we'll do some specific content on that in the future to maybe get to the bottom of it. Like I mentioned before, like I mentioned last week, Breton Stone has this new thing, but I don't really know what it's all about. It's a biologically friendly silica compound, I guess. So I don't know what that all means.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, back to this. I just think this is a great first one to kick off this. I think because this is not. I didn't see any of this on any of the lists that I was looking at today, and I was watching a bunch of videos from other creators and just seeing what they're saying. No one's saying this, and I think that's. And you might think, well, if no one's saying it, then why is it going to be a trend? Because Michael's saying it, and so he's in the know, and he knows what's going on in the world of kitchens. But sometimes with kitchen trend lists, they get to be a bit predictable, I guess. And that's why I really love this one, because it's not predictable. It's a really nice look, and it's something that probably isn't too far of a stretch for a lot of people if they want to do it. All right, the next one was this one. This is a hot one. I think this is something definitely we're talking about. We chatted about this a lot. It comes up a lot on the channel as well. Was no upper cabinets, and of course that can be a mixture of no upper cabinets or less upper cabinets, or some kind of shelving. There's lots of variations of that. But give us your lowdown. What do you think?
So this is one I think we've seen take off, I'd say, this year. But it's more of a trend, I think, that's going to continue and really grow next year, I reckon. I think more and more people are being exposed to it, for one, just the idea, it's such a, I think we were talking last week, take us back a couple of years, 5-10 years, the idea of no wall cabinets was just a big no. The thing we were saying, like our default position sometimes, I said, I think at least mine was, I was designing, it was like, your base cabinets are in, wall cabinets follow, just match them in, kind of like fill that space. That was just what you did. So no wall cabinets, I think, for some people it could be quite a shock, but I think it's a challenge that people are starting to get their head around and starting to understand how to still make it functional, and then seeing the benefits, of not having any wall cabinets or having something like that, that's simple floating shelf. Really nice. I like this kitchen, by the way. I really like this one.
Is that wallpaper?
I think it's like a textured finish on the wall. It's like a kind of plastic finish. Yeah, again, I quite like that.
Wallpaper's not on the list.
Wallpaper's not on the list. Oh, is it on anybody's list?
No.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. Here's another one here. This is beautiful with the shelf and then the half slab. I'm seeing a lot of this. What do you call it? A splashback?
Yeah, I've got both now. Yeah, I call it. I've always known it as a splash bag,
Right.
but since Rising, it's a backsplash, right? It's
It's
stunning.
something. It looks beautiful, but yeah, this is something we see a lot of as well, and just
Mm.
you know, and we'll talk about open shelves maybe a little bit later, but the curated idea I think is nice for some of these.
Yeah, it's very popular. Is that not maybe not so much this one? It looks like because that's got the bracket, so it's probably a deeper one. Yeah,
Oh
maybe
right,
something like that, where it's the worktop and then just a little, almost like a ledge. It's not that deep. It's the same material as the countertop. Those kind of ones look really nice as well. Just yeah, just to kind of put something up there to curate. It's not for storage. A couple of like little everyday items, maybe.
this one's kind of has the similar
Yeah,
mirror, the similar window idea raised up, which can be kind of nice. But yeah, these shelf units, I think the no upper wall cabinet thing, like you said, you know, that not that long ago, you're just designing kitchens, throwing wall cabinets just because that's just what you did,
yeah.
kind of fill the space. And one of the things I get, not in arguments about, but just one of the comments I get is, you know, when we talk about blocking off a corner, how you're wasting all this space, and then we talk about no wall cabinets. So what's happening? What's happening with all the space now we're wasting? Because if we have all these walls that could have cabinets on them, what is the
Mm.
answer to that? Why are we wasting so much space?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just generally we're downsizing our stuff. It's never a bad thing,
Mhm.
And it obviously doesn't work for everybody. This whole concept, big family, you need the storage. Depends on the size of your kitchen. Depends what else you've got going on. If you have a separate utility or exactly, yeah, it's really not for everybody. And that's fine. That's probably the norm. Um, but yeah, I think if you do have that little bit of extra space, if you think about the types of storage that you're having, like we said before, drawers, maybe like a larder kind of pantry thing. If you've got that separate utility room, um, you can shift some of that stuff. Mm, fair point.
So fair comment. And I get this a lot too. If all we have are drawers, even drawers, you still have to bend over to get to the bottom one, and the top shelf of a wall cabinet is too high for anybody, so not
Mm,
very useful. So there's this like zone, this sweet spot in
yeah,
the kitchen between the top drawer, the countertop, the top shelf. That's really like the best of all the worlds of a kitchen. Um,
yeah. That's your ergonomic sweet zone. That
yeah.
that middle layer.
So like this shelf on this particular kitchen, and let's see if we go back, that doesn't have any.
Mm,
That's a bit too high.
yeah, maybe.
That'd be functional there. So you have like, you know, you have the drawer, you have your worktop, you have your shelf,
Yeah,
and then, you know, those outlier areas are just hard to make. You just try to make them as functional as possible. And I think by not having a wall cabinet or by having something that pulls down to make it accessible, that's the best way to make it functional. I think that's what it comes down to. And
mm,
again, with a drawer, you know, having to bend down, to my knowledge, there's, other than like an appliance lift up, you know, mechanism,
right.
I've never seen a drawer that, you know, comes up
Comes
out of the
out.
bottom. So that might be something we could partner in on. And
Yeah, get that kind of swing hinge that comes up.
yeah, the whole drawer comes out, lifts
Mm,
up. Maybe it's out there. I don't know.
all right,
Seems like it would be possible.
let's quickly put a thing on that, a copyright on that.
Yeah, write this down. We got the date here. It's recorded.
Yeah.
I actually reached out to Bloom Canada,
Oh yeah.
and they got back to me. So
Nice.
that's cool. They might we might make some content. So that'd be kind of neat.
That's fun. Yeah.
I'll run this by them. You can make some very
Me.
expensive hardware to make this happen.
Yeah. Keep your cards close to your chest there, Mark. Don't give everything away.
It's already on the internet, so it's just a race now to see who gets there. Okay, so I mean, yeah, I think this is a great look. No wall cabinets, like I said.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Nothing new.
No brand new information on this one, I don't think. If anybody that's been following along a little bit for the last year or so, but it is one that's getting more popular, and I think it's going to be.
And I think it gives people the permission to be able to do something like this, where, oh, we're allowed not to have just all wall cabinets filling up the space. We can design this differently. And again, it depends on if you need that storage, you need it. But if you don't need it, this could be a way to open up the space, make it a little more, bright and airy. I don't know, all those words.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump to the next one. Here's curved cabinets.
Yeah,
this is one that I think can be tasteful, and then just like, okay, no, we've gone too far.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the curves?
Yeah, so curves, I think, are starting to come back. Another, we've never had curves before. I remember doing a lot of curves years ago. Always kind of like base and end the base, end the wall on a slight curve. I think that idea is coming back. I think curves, when I say curves, I think it's curves, but kind of softening the spaces overall, more organic shapes. That's the buzzword I think I'm going to use. So not just on the cabinets, but like in some of the architectural elements as well. I mean, that one on the left, we've got, obviously you've got the curve on the island, but then you've also got the kind of like that pillar leg curved. If you look at the back, I think the shelf curves, the backsplash at the top there, just that little curve.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So it's picking up on these things. So it's not just like a curved cabinet. It's bringing more organic shapes in general into our interiors. I mean, even the lights, I know they're round, but you know what I mean. It's kind of this kind of thing.
Interesting.
More organic kind of feel. And I think you're right there. You've got to do it. Don't overdo it. Don't make it, all higgledy-piggledy curvy. Because I remember years ago, I had you did a lot of like drawer pack base cabinet, really wide drawer packs that had this kind of like either kind of concave, convex, like curve to them. These fronts, like that was all the rage, and that would be like the feature bit that your cooktop would then sit on, kind of that be there. Don't see those anymore, but so curves. My point is, curves are nothing new, but I think they're coming back.
Nothing new, but coming back. Yeah.
I think we can say that about all
this isn't part of the curve, but I absolutely love the reveal on that picture to the right of the countertop.
Oh yeah.
That negative space there.
That little.
Oh, I just love that. Love that look. People.
And I mean, that just seems
dust collector.
It seems just like a square edge, but countertop edge profile details. When somebody does something different, I love it. I really like when somebody does that, especially when it's a handleless thing. If they have like a shark's nose cutting in, or even like a ball nose, just something that's a bit different, I think can look really nice. Yeah,
this looks a little gaudy to me.
Yeah, this is what I thought it might. Yeah, there's a lot going on in this.
You thought it might?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is different, but that's that's the idea with the curves. Here's some more. This looks like a rendering, so but the idea is still there, and this is very doable.
That one is it's kind of softening spaces a little bit.
I've seen someone said something about Star Trek or something. So it's kind of like this old style that, and then you'd see it in like these science movies, like whatever, like, and then now it's showing up in real life, like in the future here. So
yeah, I mean, there are some, I've seen some, again, going back a while, that there were some real curvy designs that did look like the command center of a spaceship type thing.
Less bruises. Less bruises, less chance to hit your hip walking through. Here's another one with a fluted idea. And again, we just have pictures here of kind of tasteful ones, and nothing that's too crazy. But if you go on and just Google like curved kitchen cabinets, you'll just find some that are
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, they just take the curves to the next level.
Mm.
And of course, to each his own. But in terms of trends, I do think this is something we're seeing much, much more of. It even has that elongated window, not the exact same, but it is
Yeah.
a little bigger kitchen window, no wall cabinets, and it has that that backsplash shelf you had mentioned as well.
Oh yeah, little ledge. Yeah.
So that kind of has a lot of these
Yeah.
elements. Let me
Yeah.
ask you
Something.
a question before we keep going on with these. So one of the buzzwords right now in terms of trends, I think, in kitchen styles is biophilic.
Right.
Are these top three so far, the windows, the curves, the no wall cabinets, do they tie into that kitchen style?
Yeah, I'd say they would. I think you could sort of kind of assign assign them all into kind of some of the concepts of biophilic. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So just
Yeah.
give us a rundown of what
So the
biophilic is.
window, so natural light. So biophilic, it's kind of an architectural movement. Testing my knowledge here. But
Not to
like
put you on the spot or
yeah,
anything.
that's where I should have prepared. It's about kind of connecting with nature. Is it in a basic term? So yeah, the window would be, I suppose, natural light and a connection to the outdoors, visually. And then what do we say? Curves, yeah, because it's organic shapes, right? That's the point. It's kind of more organic shapes, more naturally occurring things. And then there are no wall cabinets. I guess that's linked with maybe again light, which you could argue is biophilic, but that one less so, I guess.
Is biophilic and like minimalism connected, or are they
Not,
just two
no,
separate things?
not necessarily. No, it's just it's kind of that kind of connection with nature. I think is the easiest way to say it. Wood, curved, fluted, ugly.
Reminds me of an office. Interesting. Yeah, it's an older look. So I think when done right and tastefully, yeah, I think this is something that, like you said, can soften the look of the kitchen, and what Helen said can help you not get any bruises. So definitely it can
Right.
soften the blow there as well. So something to look out for. Let us know in the chat, in the comments, if you're watching this in replay, what do you think about these so far? Are these trends worth looking at? Do you think? Do you agree with us, disagree with us? Love to know your comments, your thoughts on all these. And of course, if you have a question and you're watching this in the live, put a few question marks in front of it so we can kind of spot it out and hopefully be able to answer it if we have an answer, or if we don't, we'll make something up.
Right.
All right, let's go. Oh, let me just fix my hat here. All right, there we go. It's starting to slide down too much. Let's go to the next one. Earth tones. This one sort of came up on a couple lists, but
right.
So this one did come up on a few lists, with wood tones and stuff like that. So wood tone, earth tone. I guess we can kind of
I mean, I put them together. I think. Yeah,
same type
I
of
was going
thing.
to say similar to just yeah.
So
Wood, yeah, wood's coming back. Again, this was when I did it years ago. Wood was everywhere. Then it went away, and I'd say it's back.
yeah,
More and more popular recently, and I think going to continue into next year. But yeah, that warmy kind of earthy tones. So these kind of woody tones, kind of like warmer beiges, terracottas, kind of greens, softer greens, things like that. That's the good example, isn't it?
I think this is the classic colors for a kitchen right now in 2023, 2024. I think this looks really good.
Yeah, so that kind of, that lovely green.
It is nice color green.
But it's a softer, right? They're softer. It's nothing too saturated. It's a softer kind of green, that softer beigey putty kind of earthy tones. Yeah, even with the flooring and having that open shelf there, wooden open shelf, tying it kind of together.
It's got the plants. It's got the biophilic happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I love that. I love that sink front too.
Yeah, having those, yeah, having the kind of worked up front to them.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, these are just, so, none of these are all white kitchens. What's up here? What's going
I
on?
know, crazy, crazy. It is nice to see.
The all white kitchen is not on the trend list for 2024, people.
You've not snuck it on at the end.
No, I haven't put it in there. Tell me this now. I know that, I think at least I'm saying this correctly, but in the UK, probably this inset door style, and we chatted about this before, is very popular, much more popular than it is in the United States and in Canada. And I'm not sure about other countries. This isn't on our list, but do you think that style of cabinet is becoming more trendy, or or am I correct? Is it in the UK a trendy thing, or no?
It's been around a long time. In frame, we call it
In frame, okay.
in frame cabinets. So I don't know if it's necessarily. I mean, possibly it's getting a bit more exposure. It's just I'd say kind of like, yeah, traditionally it's more expensive than a standard kitchen.
Yeah.
You know, the standard just lay on door.
Yeah.
So it's always, of course, have kind of had that association with it. But I think it's becoming, more of the big sheds do a version, and different versions of, different
Yeah.
style doors that are in frame. So it's becoming much more accessible to whoever, and maybe because of that, it's becoming more popular. People can achieve that look.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, the in-frame, it's a great look. I mean, I've sold, in-frame for years, so it doesn't feel.
Really?
It's a good point. It doesn't feel like a trend to me. It just feels like it's an option that's been around for ages.
Right. Yeah, it hasn't been. I mean, you can tell this is a European kitchen by that outlet. So
Yeah, I mean, you can. Well, it's interesting with this one. I think they're dishwasher drawers on the left,
are
because
they?
they've not got the actual frame around them, but they've created a kind
Oh,
of like
right.
fake frame
Right.
to the top. Can you see that on that
Yeah.
door?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like an illusion, but
Right.
because
Yeah.
they're a built-in appliance,
I noticed that, but I didn't know if it was just a
um,
door style. But yeah, that makes sense.
I would imagine they're dishwasher drawers. Fisher and Paykel. We talked about those, yeah.
Okay. Helen, there's as you can get an inset hinge.
Yep.
Bloom make them as they make a full overlay hinge, a half overlay hinge. You can get an inset hinge. It's got a real big bump in it. I
Yeah,
don't know
just
how to
just kind of,
explain it.
yeah, just kicks it out that little bit past
Yeah.
the frame. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can buy these. Helen, you're in the Yarmouth area, so you can buy these at Kent or Home Depot. That's how easy they're. They're not hard to get. So they're
Yeah,
out there. Just, I know in North America they're not that popular. It
right.
the biggest trend, I think, in terms of design style for a cabinet is just a frameless, full overlay door
Right.
in Canada especially,
Okay.
and it has been that way since the late 90s. In the United States, I think a face frame cabinet is still probably more popular, and then with a full overlay door now becoming more popular with that as well, but still on a face frame. I'm not sure if frameless cabinets are as popular in the United States or not. But in Canada, we call them European style kitchens.
Yes, I remember this. And we just call them kitchens.
Right, right. That's funny. So yeah, that's a good one. There's some more pictures here. Just the greens are very popular.
Yeah, green's still popular, and kind of different versions of the green, kind of softer sage, muted ones. This one's a bit richer, I'd say. But
Yeah,
again, we're looking at,
interesting. There's
blending the
another
trends.
color green there.
Another color green.
Yeah, like in that bench seat in the back.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's nice. A kind of softer sage green. I was going to say no wall cabinets again.
No wall cabinets. Notice
I
above
think.
the fridge has the wine cubbies. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's just kind of complete that look, isn't it? Just keep it built in without being fully integrated. Yeah.
Really cool. The greens are great. Yep. Green kitchens are great.
I mean, I've been saying it for a little while, Mark.
Well, I believe you, man. I mean, I did it here in this kitchen that I'm looking at here.
Of
Uh,
course, yeah, yeah.
the only reason I don't have it behind me is because I got that mirror on the wall. No one will, I can't, the comments will be coming in left, right, and center that I put a mirror in my kitchen.
All
Maybe
right.
it's a trend. You ever think of that, people? Might be a trend?
Is that a big no-no?
Apparently, I got roasted, heavily roasted for having a mirror in my kitchen. But anyways, moving along,
Amazing.
some more pictures. This one I think is beautiful. I don't know what it is about that mustardy color, but I think it's really,
yeah,
really
it's nice. And again, mixed with the wood tones on the island,
Mm.
you know, it's really, really earthy, warm look, isn't it?
Yeah. So nice. So earth tones, definitely a trend. I'm saying, yeah, look, be on the lookout for the earth tones. All right, let's go to this next one. Natural stones.
Yeah. So I think, again, this is one that probably mentioned last year at the beginning of, or the start of this year for this year kind of thing, last year, beginning of this year. It's one of those ones, again, I think it's going to be growing in 2024. Going to see more of this. And it'll be interesting to see if that's at all fueled on further by the whole quartz thing. I'm not sure it will. I don't think it's going to have a huge impact on the end result of those things. I think, you know, probably tougher regulations and health and safety things need to be implemented. It's that kind of end, I reckon, that's going to get the brunt of that. But maybe people might think to look at natural stones again, you know, granite, quartz, quartzite.
Natural stone does have silica in it too, right?
I suppose, yeah, that's true, actually. There's levels of it in there, but
yeah. So I wonder.
Interesting.
But I agree. I think the return to natural stone is a good one. I think more and more people are coming back to just natural granites and the like, you know, whether it's quartzite or soapstone. Soapstone's really nice. Definitely one of those things that are becoming more trendy. And there's something about the unmatchable beauty and uniqueness of a natural stone. Although you can cut two slabs that are the same block, really there's no slab that's identical. It's, you know, it's
you're never going to get that perfect.
Yeah. So I think that's great. Plus, if you like the polished look, you can polish this much. You know, it polishes more than a quartz.
Right.
There's no resin, so you can only get the quartz to polish so much. So if you love that look of a high gloss finish, you're going to get much higher gloss on a granite or natural stone than you will on a quartz stone.
Cool. Didn't know that. See, I'm learning.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the thing I always say with natural stones is that it has a depth to it that man-made stone still can't quite replicate. You know, when you look into it, it feels like you can really.
That's the word. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a depth to it.
Depth to it. Yeah.
And I think people are drawn to that.
No, they use sandstone for countertops. It's not too soft. That's all. I'm not an expert on sandstone, but I know they use it for countertops.
Yeah, not one I've particularly used, but I'm sure. Yeah. I know they use, you know, yeah, there's all kinds of natural stones. Limestone's quite popular.
Limestone, yeah. So maybe limestone's what I'm thinking of. I don't know about sandstone.
I don't know about sandstone.
It's definitely limestone, but I'm pretty sure they do sandstone. I know they make tiles and stuff with that. As far as I know, I'm not sure, Helen. We'll have to get back to on that one. Here's another beautiful, rich top.
Yeah, that's a quartzite. I think that accidentally, I think all the ones that I sent were quartzite.
Okay.
Which is interesting. Maybe that's a trend.
Yeah. I guess one of the things people mention is just do you have to seal them? And some you don't have to seal, and others they recommend you sealing. So I guess that depends on the stone, but generally my thought was, and I'll stand to be corrected, but my thought was that if it's very dense, natural stone, there's not really a need for it to be sealed because of the low porosity.
Right.
So again, I could be corrected. You might correct me. I don't know. Is that something that sounds?
I don't. It's not something I've that's not something I've come across. But my just kind of default answer with stone fabricators over the years is if it's natural, it should be sealed.
Yeah.
And they always seal it before installation, and then we're always sort of taught to sort of educate the customer on that and leave them some sealant for the future as well. But yeah, I mean, I know, especially with granite, there's different densities, and that can affect it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
For those of you driving and listening right now, there's a
Driving,
picture
wow.
of a marble, or it looks like marble, but it's quartzite apparently.
Right.
Very
Yeah, no, it's
beautiful, earthy look with some nice brass taps. So
the audio description version.
yeah. All right, here's another kind of a blurry one, but this would be more of this could be a quartzite too, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. I'm not
Really sure. I just grabbed pictures. I didn't really look into exactly what these ones were. This is, I wanted to bring this one up because this is like the higher backsplash that we're not used to here in North America, but you're very used to this height or maybe even a little higher.
Yeah, that's something that's popped up over recent years. I think that was on one of my videos a year or two ago. That I think I called it the extra tall upstand. I mean, that's the name I went with.
Right, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, it's in between. Like it's taller than a regular upstand, but not quite a full height backsplash. It's kind of sits in between, which I don't know. I quite like it. I like it when people do something different. I think that's my thing. I'm drawn to. If I see something slightly different, I'm just like, ooh, that's why have they done that? What's the So when I saw that kind of popping up, I quite liked that look. But yeah,
does anyone think that the brass fixtures with dark cabinets has a short shelf life? That's a good question. What do you think?
In terms of sort of it's going to go out of trend, out of fashion?
Yeah.
I mean, everything does, no matter what it is.
Almost everything.
Almost everything, except for obviously the all-white kitchen. Possibly. I think it depends on the property as well. If it suits the property, then I think no. But
I don't want to sound too out there, okay? But I just want to mention this. When I look at some of these pictures, there's a smell that I associate with some of these pictures.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this one has like a spicy smell to it.
Okay.
You know, like a nice shaving cream. I know they got the little brush there, but I just pictured taking a straight razor out and getting a shave. This smell smells spicy, not like tacos, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of the spices, but anyway, this smells like nothing but I don't know, peaches maybe. This is and here's another one here. So again, you got so now that's a backsplash, not an upstand because of the height, right?
Yeah, that's what I would call it. Yeah. It's interesting. I don't know where you draw the line, but in my head there is one somewhere. When I see it, I know it.
Well, yeah, I didn't think it was it's a mushroom brush. I don't know. It still it smells spicy to me. This has a bit of that fluted thing going on, but yeah, see inset doors again, or what it looks to be. No, they're maybe just frameless. Yeah, here's a darker color. Your thoughts? A lot of these we're looking at, they're much lighter tones. What are your thoughts on these darker tones? Or these?
I think again, I think it all depends on what you're pairing it with and what you like. We do generally see lighter tones for a lot of things. I think it works well, especially if you're going to go for a color. I think people tend to go for it on their cabinets, and then to balance that, it's often lighter tops, right, to contrast and to keep it from looking too dark. But I know there's something said to go for like dark on dark or darker tops. Like if you're going for that look, if you're going for that moody look.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think again depends where you are in the world. Dark tops, especially around the sink, do show that line scale. They certainly would here. They certainly would in London.
Right.
Which people are just shy away from. Whereas lighter tops is going to hide all of that.
Okay, so we're getting a bunch of comments on this lamp.
The lamp. Is that on anyone's trend list?
No, it was on my trend list for 2023.
That's right. I thought I recognized that. So there
Which
it is.
but I mean, I stole that from someone else's list. It's not like it was my idea.
Right.
But I mentioned that in the video. But yeah, this is I don't know what's up with the lamp. But it is a trendy thing to have a lamp in a kitchen, apparently.
I'm not sure
but
where
it
that
wasn't
lamp's
on
plugged
anyone's
in.
list. I don't know what's up with the lamp. I mean, it didn't catch my eye like it caught everyone else's, I guess.
No, I was looking at the countertop.
Yeah.
Just straight past it.
I don't know. That's the only lamp, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the one. That's the lamp.
How's that lamp plugged in, Mark?
Well, that's my question too. It's either they either just conveniently hidden the cord behind that so we can't see it in the picture, or it's photoshopped out somehow.
Yeah, I mean,
or maybe it's some kind of oil lamp. It doesn't look. It looks like it's got a
yeah. I guess it could have batteries technically, but it doesn't. Yeah,
maybe
I'm not sure. I think it's a prop. I think
it's a prop too.
Yeah.
It does stand out now that everyone's pointing it out, though.
Yeah, I can't believe we didn't spot that.
Anyway, well, there you go. I'm trying to figure out what that thing is up on the ledge. That reddish thing. I can't really tell what that's for.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. Somebody in chat.
It's just an art piece. Who knows?
Yeah,
okay, let's move on. Let's go to this next one. Worst prop ever. All right, so those first five were Michael's. These next four, I think, are ones that I've compiled because I was looking through a whole bunch of other people's lists, and these are some of the things that stood out that everybody was talking about, and that I tend to agree probably are trendy just overall. I don't know if they're any more trendy this year than next year or the year beyond that, but statement hoods. I think statement hoods are a real opportunity in any kitchen to, display some personality to the space. I mean, I don't even know what that is. I'm almost afraid to look at that because it looks maybe that it could be vulgar, but it's just some. There you go.
Just trying to figure out, is it supposed to be a cloud?
I don't think, if it is, it's a horrible cloud.
Yeah, it's a cloud that's not. Yeah.
It just looks. I don't know what it is, but it's a hood. Helen, that's the worst prop ever. That lamp's got nothing on this thing. Yeah, so statement hoods. Other than this one, I mean, if we go down the line here, this kind of modern boxed statement hood is really, something that's it really sets apart the kitchen. In my opinion, I think this is one of the nicest ways to do a hood. Very, very modern looking. Love this one because it has a different. It's tying in, I believe, the countertop, but not the backsplash. So I think.
Yeah, just thinking that. I was just noticing that. Yeah, it's nice.
Very nice.
Have seen a lot of this kind of stuff this year, like that, or kind of tiled or something, but often boxed in like that, real statement.
Yeah. Now this is a statement kitchen. This isn't a statement hood. This is a statement kitchen. However, that style of hood ties into that kitchen well, and just it pops out at you. And I think that it makes a statement. I think that's the whole point of these things, is that it draws your eye. It's a focal point in the kitchen. Plus, it has enormous value in terms of ventilation, which is great. So I think this is something to not something to look out for, but something just to this one, I don't know. This one doesn't do it for me, but this is the idea. It's I think it's nothing new, but it's continuing to be popular.
Yeah, especially I think the cladded ones, like you said, whether it's, you know, like a marble or whatever kind of countertop material.
Yeah.
I've seen ones that have kind of, you know, love them or hate them, that kind of the reeded, slatted, fluted, whatever you want to call it, look kind of wrapped around them. And like I said before, tiled, stuff like that. That looks, they can look really nice, kind of tying it in with the other elements of the kitchen.
Yeah. Here's another, just you know, it blends in, but it's not that modern boxed look. I think it's nice. Love that window seat. It's very beautiful. Not my favorite backsplash. Just looks like, I don't know, reminds me of a mermaid.
Yeah,
Fish.
I see that, the scales. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, looks a little scaled.
It's a little Art Deco, I guess, but yeah, I can see the scales. Yeah, yeah, that seat's nice, dropping down. That's really lovely.
This would be Art Deco, right? Is this more Art Deco? What is
I'm not
this?
sure what that is.
Okay.
I don't know what I'd call that.
Yeah, but that's a statement.
That's, yeah.
I haven't seen one like that before, with that opaque kind of glass. Am I saying that? Translucent, maybe, I guess is the right word.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? It kind of looks like it's just like there's just a regular chimney hood inside of it.
Yeah, it does.
They're just wrapped around. But I'm sure it's just, you know, it's just the
vent.
The vent where you can see. But yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Lemons.
That's definitely a look. It's not for everybody. And that plant there, no lamps in the kitchen.
Is that how the plant's supposed to look, or is that plant dead?
I couldn't tell you. It looks like they might be smoking that plant to come up with this combination of ideas. Oh my. Okay, let's move on. Floating shelves. Oh my gosh, they're on the list. Stop. Okay. The reason they're on the list is because they're on everyone's list. Floating shelves happen to be very popular, even though they trigger a lot of people. I know we're going to hear about it, and I don't disagree. I think, you know, they have their cons and their pros, but they're still very popular. They're not going away. I think they've cemented themselves into modern kitchen design, and there's no way around it. So, you know, this has some beautiful lights inlaid in there, and you know, what's cooking? Good looking.
Yeah.
Sounds like something you should have on your apron. So, you know, dust collector, grease collector, spider collector, mess collector, you name it, I get it, but they're still very popular. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. I think, yeah, another one that's been around for a while, probably somehow, as you say, kind of has cemented itself into a kind of done thing. And so more people are doing it. You know, we see it more, and so more people are doing it. I think done in the right spot, you know, in the right way for the right person, for the right style of kitchen, it can look great. You know, I think having loads and loads of shelves, open shelves right next to your cooktop, you know, that you're never going to get to and clean and gets covered in grease is a big no. There you go. Yeah. If, you know, you're somebody that doesn't do, yeah, there you go. Thank you, Danny. Yeah. If, you know, if you're not a huge cook and they're on like the opposite side of the kitchen, the opposite wall to the cooktop, and it's just a nice kind of clean shelf that you put some everyday stuff on that you do use, that doesn't just sit there and get covered in grease and everything. And yeah, that could be a trend as well, the OTR. Then I think that's fine. I think, you know, you've got to know what you're getting yourself into with open shelves. So I think done in the right circumstances, really nice. If it's done well, I think they're really nice. And there's a lot of kitchens kind of that I showed on my list. They've got, you know, like an open shelf, a single open shelf that's just kind of something simple that is a bit easier to clean, but too much? No.
I like this. Love the look, but not the work.
That sums it up.
Yeah, that sums it up. Winston saying note the OTR, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Grr.
There's something else. One of my pet. Well, I mean, there's a lot of pet peeves in that image triggering me. But one of me, it looks like a round sink.
Yeah.
I do not understand round sinks.
Yeah, that's a no-no. Um, that dishwasher though,
Yeah, it's triggering me as well. Yeah.
beauty. Beauty. The yeah, the OTR, okay, so they have this open shelf curated looking beautiful, and then yeah, there's this OTR there.
Mm.
Doesn't work. Terry Joe, San Pellegrino. I I wasn't taking pictures today, but I did use this Pellegrino in my kitchen pictures for my Airbnb.
Amazing.
Because
With a
that's
bowl of
proper
lemons
kitchen
or
photography.
limes. Did you have the bowl of lemon or limes as well?
I didn't put the bowl of lemons. Interestingly enough, though, we were out getting groceries, and I said, Amy, we need to buy a bowl of lemons, and it's Pellegrino because I'm taking photos today. So I actually think I might do a video on kitchen photography as
Yeah.
like a joke. And just include these items, what makes a good kitchen photo. It has nothing to do with the actual kitchen. It has to do with the props, which are, you know, smokable plants, apparently lamps, Pellegrino, limes, lemons, and the like. So we'll get there. Open shelves in the kitchen must always have at least one potted plant with leaves drooping down.
That's a must. Yeah, absolutely.
I think you're right about that. There's one there. Yeah. There's one there. Let's go to the next one. No, but there's still a plant, so we'll let it. We're gonna go with it. What's the difference between the floating shelf versus open shelf? For example, the one you showed in the beginning. They are the same. I think it's just terminology.
Yeah, if you want to get real technical about it, floating shelves don't have the visible brackets.
Okay, I'll go along with that. Yeah.
If you want to
they look like they're floating.
They look like they're floating. Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. But technically, they're essentially the same.
They could overlap. Yeah. Open shelving could be floating shelving.
Yeah, the plants. A lot of plants. So these are floating.
Yeah, in my kind of purist kitchen design head, they're technically floating. They're also open for sure, but I would say they're floating shelves.
So all floating shelves are open shelves, but not all open shelves are floating shelves.
Exactly. Yeah. Now you're getting it.
Yeah, what's in this Pellegrino?
I mean, it looks lovely, doesn't it? It does look nice. It
looks great.
And that's probably a better example of it, right? Doesn't look like there's a cooktop underneath it. It's probably on a separate wall in the kitchen away from that, and that's their bit that they put the stuff out on.
We had them in a previous kitchen, like I said before, and you know, couldn't keep it tidy enough. You know, like this is different. This isn't functional. This is curated, meant to be looked at.
Yeah.
So I think there's the usage of it, you know, if you're using it for functionality and you don't mind it being messy, then that's fine. But if you don't like the mess, they're going to be messy. They're always messy. You always have to keep them nice and neat and tidy and cleaned and dusted. So there's an inherent issue with them. But in this case, of course, you know, I think it looks great. However, like a few people had said, a lot of work to them. So.
Yeah, that's it.
But I wouldn't mind having small couple plants. So you just have them everywhere. It might be too much. Put a few somewhere, then that could be good. Ooh, shelves can be a decorating challenge. They can be, especially if you don't know how to decorate like myself. All right, the last one, I think this is the last one that I had, was textured tiles. This had come up quite a bit. Organic tiles, maybe, is another way of saying that. in other words, just not the classic subway tile. So something that has a little more depth, some texture,
Right.
jaggedy edges, not, you know, not doesn't look as finished in terms of its manufacturing. So sorry for these beeps and buzzes.
Yeah, I can see that. I think that's something that's cropped up again probably this year, and I can see it going into next year. I'd say, yeah, more, if you're talking more kind of organic, kind of a bit more handmade, a bit more rustic.
Yeah, handmade.
That kind of follows suit.
I like how you're like,
Are they glaze? Are they glass? So what's going on with these ones?
I think they're a mixture of glass, or maybe they have a backing on them too. I don't know if these are textured. These just have. I call these textured because they're not like a smooth
I see what you mean. Yeah.
finish to them. But this wouldn't be really the textured. Really, I'm thinking about. This would be more of a handmade look, I guess.
Yeah. I can
You
see
know,
that. Because there's a big,
little bee in that one.
the Zalige tile was having a moment. I don't know if it still is.
Right. I think it is. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's. How do you say that correctly?
Oh, well, I say Zalige.
Zalige. I don't say
Yeah.
it anyway because I've never heard the word before until like a
Yeah.
month ago. So
I mean, that's a very particular type, but that look, people going for that kind of look, it's kind of the style of tile.
yeah, a little different type of tile here. That's almost doesn't even look like tile. It looks like wallpaper, but um, that's kind of the idea. So some people are saying here about impossible to keep clean in the kitchen. So I mean, as with a lot of these things, this is the other thing to think about. How much work are these ideas going to cost you? Whether it's the window backsplash, is that going to be extra work because you have to clean it more than you would maybe the wall just because it's a window? I don't know. Or
Yeah.
the backsplash tiles, you got to clean them too. And if they're textured, is that going to be an issue? So definitely something to think about as with any of these things. Are there other trends that come to mind that as we're jumping along here that we didn't talk about that you think will be maybe still popular, that are popular now, or
Oh gosh.
particular colors, or is there anything that stands out when you're looking around it? What about door styles? We talk about the shaker door style
Right.
as being pretty much almost the standard, and then a thin shaker door and then a modern door. But are you seeing any new door styles around that catch your eye?
Nothing groundbreaking new. I think, yeah, probably the biggest one that was different enough recently, which is maybe going back a little bit, was just like the kind of like a real, kind of like, not really a shaker, it's just like a very thin frame around the outside. Not like a shaker as such.
Right.
Like, so it's almost a slab, but just has this like frame
Very
detail
thin,
on. Yeah. That's kind of popped up. That's quite nice. But I
Mm.
wouldn't say it's not really like taken over. A simple clean shaker is still what most people probably go for, or kind of some form of slab.
Right. Are you a fan of a one-piece shaker door as opposed to a five-piece door that's assembled? Or do you care?
I mean, it's nice to have a classic 5-piece shaker, I guess. It's probably slightly not more well made, but sometimes with the one piece, it's not. It's
Right.
it is
So,
what it
yeah,
is. It's
could be
every
ambiguous.
yeah, it probably is. Yeah, just
Yeah.
so there could be troubles with that kind of thing, but I mean, it all depends what you're doing, what your budget is, and stuff like that.
Yeah. The issue that I've had with them in the past, and we live on the coast, so there's a big issue with humidity,
Right.
moisture, whatnot, and then how wood responds to that. And the issue with the five-piece shaker or five-piece doors in general is that center panel would shrink,
Right.
expand and contract through the seasons. and normally those are painted once they're assembled. So they're assembled, put through the booth, and then off you go. And then that shrinks, and then there's this line of
Oh, wow.
unfinished wood. And that was a real issue for a lot of companies, warranty issues, because, well, the panel's shrinking. And that wasn't good. So they had to kind of remedy that. They started painting the panels before they assembled them and all these types of things. So the one-piece door in MDF never had to worry about that, because MDF doesn't respond to moisture in the same way wood does. And if it's one piece, there's nothing to expand or contract in terms of a joint in the wood. So that was kind of one of the pushes to the one-piece door style. So I don't know, have you ever run into that issue?
No, that's interesting. I guess that's, just a kind of highlights a geographical issue, kind of, because of the climate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be an issue in a drier climate, but here, like where we are, it can be a real problem. I have an idea for our small kitchen in the UK. The cupboards are on the exterior wall, and I was thinking about blocking off the corner and using it for a boiler cupboard accessed externally.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I like if you can access it externally, that would work fine, and no better way to use a corner than to put a boiler in there.
Hide the boiler in it, absolutely.
Yeah. You got our blessing on that one. That's an easy one.
Like you say, as long as you can access it for boiler checks and regs and stuff, then cool. Yeah, use that dead space in a better way.
Love to find tiles that create the look of a window peering into a garden, because I can't put a window in my kitchen. Oh, that's I wonder if you can get well, I guess if it was tile, it would almost have to be very large scale tiles to give you that window effect, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I guess. I think get a window tile. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's a tricky one. Just find a really nice tile that you like.
Would you be afraid of a Caesar stone quartz splashback burning? No, I wouldn't be.
No.
Nope. Unless you're making a creme brulee and using a blowtorch on the thing.
Yeah. No, it's pretty pretty common these days to use the the countertop, the quartz countertop as a splashback. So I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Trina's saying she says she loves a 5-piece shaker, and I've seen a 5-piece shaker with a MSG or center panel. So I'm guessing like some kind of like hardboard center panel.
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah, so the one of the companies I worked for in London did classic kitchens and the 5-piece shaker, and their center panel was it was a kind of a birch like plywood, and then veneered at the front.
Right.
So that ply is cross bonded, so it stops the warping and the moving of that center panel, whereas the rest is oak, and then the center panel was birch, ply, and that no problems with that. We still have to be careful, I guess, with even the frames with high levels of moisture and stuff. But yeah, I suppose that's the work around that.
Right. James, you're a genius.
Yeah.
So that's good. We need more geniuses. Helen's saying that love my seamless Corian. Is Corian popular in the UK?
I mean, it is here. It's not something I've done loads of. I've done it in the past. More when I worked at kind of a more contemporary kitchen place. We did a bit more Corian. So I suppose it depends on, I guess kind of the style of kitchen as well, what it leans to, maybe perhaps.
Yeah.
A bit, not loads, but that could just be me.
Yeah, not very popular here. For whatever reason, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, talking about curves, Corian's the perfect thing for curves.
Yeah, really good. No seams, no visible seams.
Right.
like anything, it has its pros and cons, but it is a beautiful option as well. TV in the kitchen. What am I going to say? I can't say no.
Well, that's just if you want a TV in your kitchen or in your fridge or something,
Well, here's the thing: a classic television, no.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go buy a plasma screen and put it in your kitchen. But if there happens to be one on your fridge door or your vent or your dishwasher, then you can't get away from it. I mean, they're coming into the kitchen. Everything has a screen, but classic television, no, I don't think they belong in a kitchen.
Mm.
That's just me. I mean, some people love it.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on your setup, right?
No. Do you have one in your kitchen?
No.
Okay. Just in case.
No.
Can you prove it? No, I'm just kidding. Oh, it's okay. Never too late. Yeah, we started early because of
my fault.
All right, I'm considering porcelain slab for a countertop, but not sure if being afraid of dropping jars onto it is worth it. I guess the question I'll have to ask you first is, to date, how many jars have you dropped on your current countertop? If the answer is none, then I don't think it's an issue. And once this is secured to the surface,
that's what I was going to say.
It's very solid, so I don't see that being an issue. When I do my rinky-dink tests of smashing things with hammers, it's obviously more for show than anything. Once it's secured down, and properly installed, you don't have to worry about it. But if you've never dropped a jar either, but if you're a jar dropper, then you may want to just be, you may want to get rid of your wall cabinets.
Yeah.
All right. And put in the porcelain. So.
Yeah. All I was going to say, yeah, the same. Once it's installed, once it's fixed, it's really tough stuff. I've never had a problem with porcelain installed. I've only ever had a problem with porcelain in transit or being installed, where they've cracked it, they've smashed it.
Yeah. That's where the problems are going to come. Yeah. I keep my TV in the living room with my lamp.
Love it.
Well said. With the open concept kitchen, I guess everyone's TV is in their kitchen. If it's in their living room,
right.
It's one way to look at it. But in the kitchen itself, I'm not sure. Okay. Just email you that to discuss kitchen pantry on stream. There's always next week.
I don't have to share that with Mark.
There's always next week.
Cool.
We can do something like that. All right, let's go for a few more of these comments, and then we'll say goodbye. In the UK, among a few kitchen cabinet suppliers, I looked up Magnet Kitchen.
Oh right, yeah. Only Magnet do Corian. Yeah. Trying to think of the other big sheds. Probably so. Yeah, some of them might do a similar thing. It's Corian is the brand name, so they might have their own version of it. High Max comes up. I can't think if there's any other ones. So they may do a similar thing, or they may not. I can't think off the top of my head.
Samsung make one too.
Right. Okay. So yeah, it might be called something else. It might just be that they don't deal with Corian, or they might not deal with it. It's not, like I said, I don't think it is as popular here in the UK, but I didn't know if that was just me and where I've been working. But yeah, they might not do it, and it might be called something else. Right. Yeah. I've seen them too. Yeah, that's true.
Is that a company?
Yeah, it's a design company.
Oh, okay.
They've got some cool projects.
Maybe it's something. Maybe we should focus on Corian for one of these. Or
something like
product type.
Yeah, like an acrylic composite, I guess.
Right. Acrylic, yeah. Thanks, Darlene. Always glad to have you on. Darlene thumbs up every video that I do.
Nice.
I mean, a lot of people do, but I mean, I don't mean it that way, but a lot of you are just very kind with your comments and support. So I appreciate it. In the UK, I think we looked at that one. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that might be a topic to talk about further. Corian, acrylic surfaces, and
did you try and smash that at all? I can't remember. Was that part of your test?
Pardon?
When you smashed the different countertops?
No, I never.
Wasn't on the list.
Nothing would happen to that. I don't think anything would happen if you smashed it.
A small dent. I mean, scratch. Show the scratches, but then the whole point is they can be buffed out.
Even if you chipped it scratchy, you could repair it easily. I watched my installer, who also installed Corian tops, do a full resurface of a top
nice.
in house, and it's cool.
Yeah.
You are.
Kind of, yeah.
Mark, you might struggle with my house plans. All the measurements are in metric.
Oh,
well,
as they should be. Mark can read it, I'm sure.
Well, that's why the program converts it for you. So that's not a problem. I've done lots of kitchens in metric, but it just converts it for me, so I don't have to worry about it too much. But in Canada, you do learn the metric system in school. We're part of the Commonwealth, so
right. It's a weird blend here.
We don't use it in real life.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
We still use feet and inches for things like my height. Yeah. My height is, I'm 6'2". But kitchen cabinets are all in centimeters, millimeters.
Interesting.
It's a mix.
Yeah.
It's miles per hour. Not kilometers. And
you use miles per hour?
Yeah. There's no logic.
Man.
We use like pounds and kilograms. It's everything. Everything is mixed.
Pounds and kilograms too.
There's no logic to any of it, I don't think. But kitchens, that's.
Do you use like stone for your weight?
Yeah, stone for weight. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't use stone. I never even heard of that before until I was watching some fight, I think, in the UK.
And weighing in,
yeah. Like, what stone do they base that off of? There must be a master stone somewhere.
That's
this
right.
Is a stone.
Yeah.
Anyway, hola from Mexico, New Brunswicker here. Hey, that's close. That's a maritimer. Bought a house in Mexico. Awesome. And Will got the kitchen. I'm a drafts person. I'll do my own drawings. That's awesome. Thanks for jumping on, saying hi. Cool to have a fellow maritimer. New Brunswick is like the next province attached to Nova Scotia. So very, very cool.
Maybe.
I love New Brunswick. All right. Well, we're just getting into the fluff now. So is that the U.S. was odd? No. We're all odd in our own unique ways. So
absolutely.
It's all good. But we had fun talking about kitchen trends for 2024. Whether or not they'll be trendy is yet to be decided because we haven't been to the future yet. But, we can comment on that as the year goes on. But I think this was a pretty well-rounded list with some, whether they're going to be trendy or not in 2024, they're good trends, I think, that you can, draw a lot of inspiration from. And that's one of the benefits, like I mentioned at the beginning, is that you can look at some of this stuff and get ideas. And even if it's stuff that you don't like, that's still valuable information so that you can design the kitchen that, you really enjoy and will like for a long time, because it's a big investment. You don't want to waste your money on some crazy looking plant or lamp that, isn't going to stand the test of time. In saying that, though, when you are picking trends, you should pick trends that are easily changed and aren't as permanent. So maybe picking a trend that, it is if you're going to go for a wilder trend, make sure that you can, also change it out from time to time. So you might not want that to be your countertop or your kitchen colors, or maybe even your wall colors. Even the wall colors you can change fairly easily. But that's kind of my rounded advice for picking trends is, find the things that you really love and you can love for a long time. And then the other things that you can kind of play with and change out from time to time. So you might just go through a lamp phase, and don't worry, it'll pass. You'll get over the lamp thing once, that time goes by, and then you can pick something else. So you want to add to that? Anything you want to say before we head out?
No, I think that's great. I think that's it, isn't it? Right? Trends are trends. They come and go. Do what you love. That's what we always say, right? If you love it, go for it. It's your kitchen. If you want to, like say, dip your toe in something trendy, do it with something a bit easier to swap out if it turns out you absolutely hate it.
Right. Yeah. And you might really love it. Who knows?
You might love it, and that's great.
Yeah, it depends on how brave you are. Some people are just brave souls, and others like to keep it safe, like myself. All right, everyone. Appreciate it. I know there's a lot of great feedback having Michael on, so that's good. And
thank you so much.
I enjoy it as well. So a lot of fun tonight. And listen, we'll be back next. Well, I'll be back. Maybe you'll be back with me.
Who knows? Just appear in the window.
An invitation. So we'll leave it at that. And yeah, we can talk about something else. But this video coming up this week, I think I'm talking about pet-friendly kitchens. And something that might be interesting. Listen, nobody liked my ChatGPT kitchen video. Well, the people who watched it thought it was great.
I thought it was funny.
But
I thought it was good.
But no one's clicking on it. It's just, it tanked. So it just is what it is. That's my fault, not reading my audience correctly. But you should go check it out if you haven't watched it. It's kind of funny. I altered my voice and everything in this video. Great. Anyway, all right, everyone, have a great night.